celle-là. Ici, ouais, je contribue, à mon échelle, à rendre aux communautés africaines leurs biens culturels. Et je peux vous dire qu'il y en a beaucoup. Voilà. Bonjour le monde, je m'appelle Emma et je suis actuellement au siège de l'UNESCO à Paris. J'ai derrière moi une tapisserie offerte par le président sénégalais Léopold Sédar Senghor. Saviez-vous qu'il y en a tellement plus qui ont été emportés d'Afrique, mais qui n'ont jamais été restitués ? C'est pourquoi l'enjeu d'une restitution d'œuvres ou d'un artefact va au-delà d'un simple échange. C'est le premier geste vers un monde meilleur. Écoutons Raouf Marega nous expliquer ce que cela représente pour lui. Direction l'Algérie.
Salam, the issue of African heritage restitution is not merely about returning artifacts and historical treasures to their rightful places. It is a conversation about acknowledging the provenance and the complexities of our shared histories and rectifying the injustices of the past. The African continent is rich with a diverse tapestry of cultures, languages, and histories. Yet, over centuries, countless cultural artifacts and artworks were looted, taken, or traded away under the shadow of colonialism and exploitation. These treasures hold deep significance to the nations and communities from which they were taken. They represent their identity, spirituality, and collective memory. Restitution, in essence, is about rectifying historical wrongs. It's about allowing future generations to connect with their heritage and understand the depth of their roots. By returning these artifacts, we are not just returning material objects, but we are also restoring a sense of dignity and identity to those who are stripped of it. The importance of this restitution goes beyond the artifacts themselves. It is a step towards reconciliation, understanding, and mutual respect between nations. It acknowledges the pain and suffering that colonialism inflicted upon African societies and opens a path towards healing. It signals a commitment to learning from history and forging a more equitable future. African heritage restitution is not just a matter of legality or politics. It is a matter of justice, empathy, and the shaping of our shared global consciousness. And yet, the challenges are numerous. On the one hand, countries on the continent remain unable to reclaim their cultural artifacts because they lack the required legal frameworks and international agreements that govern the repatriation of stolen or looted cultural property. On the other hand, some museums and private collectors might resist returning African cultural artifacts and even go as far as to create hurdles for the rightful owners seeking restitution. My future Africa is one where restitution is not just a dream, but a reality, a beacon of hope and inspiration. My future Africa is one where restitution is no longer a matter of contestation, but rather a testament to the power of justice. My future Africa is where young people can see their own treasures displayed in their own countries, where they can walk through museums that narrate their own histories in their own words. My future Africa is one that is more inclusive, understanding and united for the future generations.
Merci beaucoup Raouf pour ce témoignage. Raouf nous a très bien exposé l'importance que revêt pour le peuple et sa jeunesse le retour des biens culturels. Mais entre la faiblesse de certains cadres juridiques ou la réticence des collectionneurs, il reste encore des obstacles à surmonter. Mais alors, que peut faire l'UNESCO pour répondre aux aspirations de la jeunesse africaine ?
Raising awareness of the importance of countering the illicit traffic of cultural property and highlighting the role of people to the heritage, given its intrinsic link to the values, histories, and identities, lies at the very heart of UNESCO's work. With regard to restitution in particular, the organization's specific role is to facilitate exchanges and enable an open and inclusive dialogue. Our principal tools in this endeavor are the 1970 UNESCO Convention on the means of prohibiting and preventing the illicit import, export, and transfer of ownership of cultural property, and the Intergovernmental Committee on Return and Restitution. The first urges countries to take measures to prohibit and prevent illicit traffic and provides a common framework on measures they can take to that end. The second provides proactive mediation by encouraging countries to conclude agreements over disputed artifacts. My name is Junior Uko. I'm from the Benin Republic and I work for UNESCO. At the conclusion of the Mondial 2022 conference organized by UNESCO in Mexico, 150 countries adopted a declaration that clearly places the return of cultural properties at the forefront of the international agenda for culture, including by supporting access to culture and participation in cultural life and its benefits as an ethical, social, and economic imperative. The declaration also promotes the need for an effective implementation of existing frameworks or policies for restitutions and returns. To ensure the implementation of these outcomes in a meaningful manner, UNESCO established a platform for open and inclusive cooperation between countries and local communities. Launched in June 2023, it brings together different stakeholders from across the globe to discuss what new forms of agreements and cooperation are required and to share examples of policies, legal frameworks, and agreements that have been used successfully in cases of restitution, such as in that of the 72 artifacts returned to Nigeria by the Horniman Museum in London in 2022. Finally, UNESCO believes that if the agenda for restitution and return is to be advanced, museums have a vital role to play. Despite their importance as repositories of national heritage, museums often receive the least resources. UNESCO encourages states, therefore, to invest in museums, including on the issue of restitution process, to ensure not only their survival, but also their mission.
Ces actions contribuent à réaliser le rêve de Raouf et de la jeunesse africaine. C'est pour cela que nous vous invitons à nous soutenir dans nos projets.